Kenny Green, Raw Perspective, Concrete and Steel, the movie The Blind Side with Michael Oher, Sean and Lee Toohey. Now they're in court in the battle. Michael Oher, who played for the Baltimore Ravens, is saying he didn't get a dime from the Tooheys, who took him in, had a conservatorship over him that is active to this day, meaning he's a grown man still under their conservatorship. They received all the money and he didn't get anything for his likeness, his image, his name, and his story being used. Now, this happened to other notables that, I won't mention right now. But how do we look at this, right? Young black man, white family take him in Tennessee. Some people say gave him structure, gave him the things he needed to be able to maybe even play in the game on the level he played on, right? But then Sean and Lee, who are the parents, so-called, of the man, had a friend, Mr. Lewis, write a story about his life. Now, Michael Oher, which is the football player that played for the Baltimore Ravens, saying he never got a dime. Never got a dime. Now, the Lee's attorneys are saying that they're being shaken down. Shaken down. Wrong word. Wrong word. Nobody's shaking you down. It's just about accountability now. It's just about accountability. I lived with you. You guys looked over me. You did a movie. The movie grossed over $300 million. But understanding business, that don't mean they received $300 million. I think they're saying that maybe, the contract they first entered in, they might have got $500,000 each. And the guy got an advance to create the book and the story. So there's a lot of factors in this, and it's two sides. Now, when you saw the movie, because I did see the movie, I think it came out in 2009, and it was a great story. It had you looking at this family like, wow, that's a great thing. A super D, this big guy that this little white woman was containing, and I'm gonna say this, I don't even know if it looked like one of them King Kong situations, right? The little white woman can contain the big black beast, right? So years go by. He realized he's still under their conservatorship. They control him as an adult, his money and so on and so on. Now, sometimes before things get to a certain point, I don't know if they had a conversation before all of this court thing happened, but sometimes people get ahead of you and they feel they don't owe you. But just using the man's name and story and likeness, respectively, I would think he's due something. He's due something, right? More than you gave him shelter and a place to stay, because him being in the NFL gave you a level of notoriety, and some perks came with that for you, for your family, for the Toohey family. So let's not forget that. Now, Michael Oher, you older man now. You should have been on top of your business probably before this. You know what I'm saying? And this is a problem. When you don't handle your business and check up on your affairs, it's not sometimes everybody else's fault. It's not always everybody else's fault. You have an obligation to see, because once you got of age and you moving around in the world, you might need to know what your ties were to this family. And if this movie came out in 2009, it's a lot of years later. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there was some in-house fighting before this, but I just feel that certain conversations should have been had before it got to this. And maybe they were had and things couldn't be resolved. But either way, the Tooheys, y'all owe. Y'all owe. So you have to think about that, man. Get ahead and work something out with this man. You know what I'm saying? Get him under get him from under your jurisdiction and let him do what he got to do.